Hello everyone, Robe here, back with a, well, not exactly back, well, back in a sense of with a review, but not back with Bionicle, because we're not doing Bionicle today. We're actually doing a Ninjago review of the summer wave of 2022. I decided to do this kind of last minute, so, you know, it's probably going to be a little rough, but I'm going to try my best here, and just kind of filling the void of Bionicle, because it's already been like 2-3ish months since I did the last video, so I kind of want to do something to fill the gap. And ironically enough, really almost 2 years ago, on August 22nd of 2020, I did a review of another Ninjago set, and that was the Gamers Market for Prime Empire. But that was 2 years ago. Things have changed. I have changed. Not very much, but things have changed, so I decided to do another Ninjago set, and hopefully this one will do pretty well. Hope everyone enjoys, and if you do, maybe comment down that below. But alright, enough of me prattling. Let's get on with the actual set in front of us. So this is set number 71772, the Crystal King. And the piece count is 722 pieces, and this is a interesting set here. And oh, I forgot, it has 5 minifigs right there, but I'm gonna go ahead and move them all out the way for then you can actually look at the big giant Crystal King thing itself. All right, so as of recording of this, I do not know the story behind the Crystal King thing here. I do not know, and that piece just fell off. My goodness, that is embarrassing, but these things happen. But so I do not know what is the significance of this in the actual story of Ninjago, but point is, we're looking at the set, and this thing is pretty kind of crazy actually, because it's a build that we actually never, I don't think we ever got in I would say Lego in Ninjago before. And it's like this Centaur thing with dragon wings. It's kind of weird looking, I won't even lie. It's definitely a weird looking set here, so, but it's not a bad one. I mean, there are some cons, and trust me, I will get into them, but I kind of want to start off with the pros, because that's how I usually do it on this channel, is I do the pros, then the cons, and final thoughts at the end. Anyway, let's start off with the pros. Pros as follows. It has a really consistent color scheme, I would say. It actually has a really nice one with a lot of the grays, blacks, purples, even golds, pinks. Let's say gold's already, light purple, dark blues. It's a lot of colors going on, but it's not bad actually. It's actually all crazy. Now, with me saying that, it sounds like a blob, but actually looking at it, it's not bad. It's actually, you know, a pretty decent looking color scheme going on. It's all well put together. It's well placed, I would say. It's really nice, but that's what the colors. The pros also is that it has a pretty decent articulation with the arms actually, because you know, you could actually, well, if you push the wings back and maybe get the weapon out of his hand, you can actually do a 360 motion with the arms, which that is really good. And they actually have elbows, so you can bend them. Now, you can't bend them if you have it like this, sideways like this. You cannot bend them. They will just kind of like stop. But if you do turn it like this, you can actually have his arms bent up all the way and down, of course. But like this, which that's probably the main way most people will do it, because if you have it like this, it looks kind of weird. You can see the underarms exposed. You want to show off the armor and the forearms, so if you have it like this, it's not going to go very high. But like this, you can. that's a mixed bag for me. I consider it still a pro because at least I can do this if I wanted to, and it's not going to bother me too much. So I don't personally think it's that bad, but some people that might be an actual con, but it is not for me. Another pro would be that it has a nice, oh yeah, I was not finished with the articulation, but I will just go ahead and just put this in another pro, but it has a articulating tail. You can actually move this thing around, you know, at pretty free range. It's, you know, you can just do all kinds of crazy poses with this thing. That's really nice. I like that a lot. And yeah, it's pretty good. You can flap the wings. You can count this as a pro. I kind of don't. I mean, I just keep it in as it's under higher notes. Not necessarily a pro, not necessarily a con, but it has cons. But I will just say for the slight pro, maybe, that you can flap the wings a bit. Back here, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's just what it is. It does what it does. It's wings. So yeah, that's it with that. And it has neck articulation actually, so you can move this. It goes up really high up actually, and it can go, well, it can't go down necessarily, but the head can go down where, well, as far as it lets you. You can go down, and you can do a 360 turn with the neck if you so please, and it's pretty good. That's really good actually. I really like the neck articulation actually. That's like one of the best parts of this in my fair opinion. And I will say that the hands are pretty decent. They're hands. They do what they do. They're hands. But the arms are built identical, so you can, let me get that in focus, you can put the staff right here in both of the hands if you actually really want to, which, you know, whatever hand you just, whatever hand you want to have it in, you can. So that's really nice because, well, let's say you want it in the left hand. I mean, and you can actually have him hold it kind of Makuta style back in the day of Bionicle, back in, you know, 2003. You can have him hold it like that if you so please, and it's not a piece you have to just keep like that forever, because with Makuta, I have not did a review yet, but I'm just sending some thoughts about that. Yeah, that's kind of gonna be a con when I get to it, but point is, you can actually hold it and it does not have to take any pieces or time to do that. But that's a pro. It's really good. I really like that. You can actually pose this thing pretty decently with the staff and the arms, and then it's not straining anything to do that. Another pro would be that the feet, I have to do the focusing again. The feet right here, you can move the toes back really far back, and you can put them forward like this. I think that's really cool. And you can articulate the feet, which that's the most you can do with the legs, unfortunately. I don't want to say what I feel about this in the pros category, so we don't want to say this for the cons, but yes, the feet can move, and you can move the toes, which I think that's really nice for stability, or just if you just really just want to have it however you want. And so it does have good stability, speaking of which, let's just keep that in mind. So I just have one of the legs back. I just messed up, and I say good stability, but yeah, here it is about to fall over. It can stand up. It's not the greatest, I won't lie. I just kind of lied about that one, because when I have the legs standing up, it kind of just tumbles over a bit. I mean, if you really want to mess around with it long enough, you probably could. It's just, for me, that's just not the greatest. In some people think it's good, some people think it's bad, I don't know, but I think that's about it with the pros. I wouldn't lie. Oh, before I forget, you can open up this chest cavity thing like that, and you can put the Crystal King inside, or whoever you want, and it's a pretty decent space in there actually. You can really see well, you can't really see it on camera, but it's pretty decent, and they can fit a lot of characters in there if you wanted to be in there for whatever reason. besides the Crystal King, I guess. I mean, you can, but it's really deep. It's like, it's really you can really like stick your whole like 2 fingers in there, and that's like pretty cool, and I really like that. That's a really nice touch right there. I do like that a lot. And you just close that up like that. You can put them inside. I don't want to show the feature because you get pretty much the idea of it. And so with that, let's now finally get into the cons. All right, cons are as follow. The cons are you do not have a lot of articulation with this thing. Despite me showing all the articulation that it can do, it is still limited to you can only move the head and the arms and the shoulders, and yes, the feet. But I feel like those are just kind of come that's just standard in just anything that's involving a mech that has arms and legs and head. I mean, if they didn't, that would just be just kind of like, what were they thinking? But I'll still say with the feet particularly, I wanted to get into because or the legs, I should say, that they do not move. The front legs do not move. You are stuck trying to get these legs to move, and you cannot do much with them. You can kind of turn them with these weird pieces they have right here, but it's not really good. So you can't really do anything with that. You can only move these back legs backwards and forwards, which it's like, yeah, it's kind of not good. And then the legs in the back are not really super like strong looking. Then I kind of wish they were beefed up a little bit more, because they're just kind of just there. They're just placeholders. I personally, if you were to ask me, I'd rather they just take the legs back here and just make this more of like a proper standing up mech. This just has 2 legs, and just beef up the legs in the front and didn't have them actually bend. I personally rather they did that instead. But I like the Centaur build, but I feel like if they were not going to do that much of a crazy unique design with it, then they shouldn't have even bothered doing it. But that's a con. That's a major con, because it does not have these anywhere, because they used the new Evo sets for like the dragons earlier this year. And you can see it in purple, and they do not bend. They're fixed at an angle, and they do not move. So they are pretty mediocre, honestly. And speaking of mediocre, let's get into the wings. The wings, I cannot see anything with this girth and size and having these baby flappy little wings actually carrying this huge behemoth Goliath like creature anywhere with these baby sized wings. These wings will not do anything. I cannot imagine what you can do with these. And I have forgotten in the pros. I just kind of want to go back into that. I actually do like these crystallized pieces, and they are compatible with Bionicle. If can see some crazy mocks with these pieces. I do like these a lot. I do want to make note of that. That was actually a pro, but that's all I want to say. Okay, back to cons. So yeah, these wings, I do not see how they could really work. And not only that, they are really, the fact, yes, as I said, they're really small. I really wish they would more into the wings. Also, kind of wish they just made this a 2-legged thing and probably put the extra pieces for the legs, for the wings, and for the front legs. But, well, can't always have what we want now, can we? So, yeah. I will say that's probably it with the cons. It's not major. I mean, they are pretty major cons, and you can't move that in the back, so that's kind of a con right there a little bit. But I can't imagine moving it. But it's not the worst. I mean, it's not a lot of bad cons. I mean, there's stuff that's like it could have been better, and I have not seen the images of the sets when they accidentally got leaked or whatever, where it showed the set being a lot more girthier. The staff was a lot more girthier, so I have no idea. So I am not going by that knowledge, so I'm just going by my own thoughts on it. So I think it's still a pretty solid set. I think it's great. I think it's a great set to get if you really like mechs and centaurs. But I am not done. I need to actually look at the minifigs close up because we've been looking at the Crystal King for a pretty good minute. So I think it's about time we actually look at the minifigs. Let's start off with probably the least anticipated minifig to get in this set alone. It's standard Lloyd. There's no gold ultimate version. There's only 2 versions of Lloyds in this, where the other ninja gets 3, but for Lloyd it's only 2. And the reason for that is because this version kind of serves as the basic version, of course, and the golden version, because he has the gold shoulder pauldron and some of the gold bits on his outfit. But I kind of just associate that with him because he is the, you know, the green ninja. He's, you know, the golden spinjitzu master or whatever. So I kind of just count that as just 2 things. I count that as, well, 1 thing actually. So it could serve as the classic, which it is, and it's a bit battle damage, so it's not as clean as the other ninja of this similar outfit is. So that is unfortunate, but anything super special about it? I mean, I personally like it. I think it's a really good minifig, and if you want to take the hood off, let's look at that. It's the same face we've been seeing for ever since the Ninjago movie, since 2017. So we've been seeing this same head for about 6-7 years now. It'd be nice to get another head, but I guess, oh well, we're not gonna get that. And there's his happy face if you really want to look at that, and just look at that, whatever. So not much to say about this. And here we have Harumi, the character that Lloyd actually did like, and turned out she was actually evil. Spoiler alert for Sons of Garmadon. I mean, it's been about, what, 5 years for that? So, I mean, not much of a spoiler. But we have her new crystallized outfit working for the Crystal King, and it's pretty good. I like it a lot. It's pretty detailed, and it's nothing. It's what it is. It's you know, really detailed, nice detailed, and you know, she has a new face because she has this evil smirk, and she has these pinkish colored eyes, and she has a second face. You can see it right there. It's a more angry expression, so you can look at the angry expression if you like. And what makes her super special to me is she has these cool crystallized see-through-ish swords. I gotta focus. And they are actually kind of see-through-ish. Translucent will be the color, but translucent pink. That's really nice, in my opinion. I think that's a really nice touch. And one last thing they did for Harumi, they actually... Oh, okay. Well, that happened. They actually gave her our hairpiece is no longer rubberized. This is actually hard plastic. So unlike the original version, they gave her, it was like all rubbery and it'll collect a lot of dust and dirt and it'll bend. This is hard plastic. So it's the first time we've seen this in this hairpiece for this character in the hard plastic, which you're not going to notice on camera, but if you have the set, you'll feel the difference and you realize the difference. Let's look at one of the crystal guards, if you will, and this minifig right here is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. This thing is incredible. I love every bit of this thing. I have almost to no complaints. The only thing I would say, but before I get to that, I actually do want to keep gawking at it and just say how gorgeous this thing looks with the highlights. If you can get it into the light, you could see the eyes glowing. That's really nice. And this head mold, because it's not a head inside of it, it's actually just... Well, that was a fail. It's actually just a mold, and you just stick it right into this little hole right there onto the spot where the head will go, and that's it. It's really nice, and it has the translucent arms. I mean, my goodness, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. I love every bit of this. This is such a great minifig, and I want more. And when I get more sets, I want a whole army of these because I love them. But as I was saying, the one thing I will say is I do not like the heads. I think the heads are a little... I think the heads are a little too big. I think they're just a little too big. They're just a little oversized with the tiny Lego bodies. But that is the smallest thing I can say to ever damage this. Just to give it a con if I would. But this thing is gorgeous. I love it. And the next one's even better. And look at this beaut. We have the crystal, I guess, I'm going to say general, because they have this incredible, absolutely incredible crystallized, or say, well, translucent armor in the little crystallized color. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And it has two translucent arms, unlike the other one. So you have two arms that's in the translucent pink, and the one leg, and these two really big blade pieces that's in the translucent pink color as well. That's really nice. But I just can't help but love this entire minifig. The detail on it is on a whole other level. I just can't help but love it. I mean, seriously, Lego blew it out the park with these minifigs right here. And finally, but certainly not least, the Crystal King himself in all of his special gunmetal glory. I will put a sign saying spoiler warning, because I am going to reveal his face. If you have not known who this character is, and you do not want to know who this character is until the episodes come out, turn away or just skip on. Do not look at this. But I am about to reveal his face in 3, 2, 1. Okay. And the face is none other than the Overlord himself. He has returned indeed in this crazy new look for him, and you cannot see his face very well. Let me just take the helmet off, which this is a whole new mode I want to mention, and a whole new back mode for these kind of helmet hood pieces. I love it. It's really nice. I'm going to move that so you can see his face in all of his glory. And you can look at the back, and he has this really nice printing. Hope you can actually see that. So it's pretty nice. Love it. And this particular version of the Overlord / Crystal King has a specialized shoulder armor pauldron piece that you just seen it with the soldiers. They are in the translucent pink, and this one's in the gunmetal color, which personally I like the translucent pink ones more. I mean, why would you even want this version of the Crystal King? Because you do not have the 4 arms, but this is the only way you could actually fit it into the mech itself. And in this version of the Crystal King, forgot to mention that he has these tiny horns. And it is not in any other version. I will make the comparison when I get the other sets. That's if you guys want to see more of this. But yes, that is it for that on the Crystal King. And he's really detailed, by the way. I forgot to mention that. He's really detailed. I do like it. I do like him a lot. So you can see all that nice detailing. And he has detailing in the back. I do not feel like taking the armor off. I'm sorry. I may do that in the next video. Or just show it when I do the minifig look on the other one, because you could see it better. But that is it for the Crystal King. And here we have it. The final thoughts on the Crystal King set. And this is definitely a really good set in my opinion. It comes with, I think, really good minifigs. Not the best, but really good minifigs nonetheless. I still think they're really good. And Harumi is the actual Lloyd, and Harumi and the Crystal King in this version, if you count, are actually exclusive to this set. You cannot get these characters, or at least for Harumi and Lloyd specifically, you cannot get them in these versions of them in any other set. Like Lloyd you would not be getting any other version of. So he is an exclusive to this set. Same for Harumi. And the crystal guards, you've seen them in various sets. It doesn't matter with them, but they're really nice to have, and it's nice to build a mass army of them because they look really nice. But how I think about this set, if I was to rate it, I say if, but I am going to rate it because it's the whole point of review. My rating of this would be, I will give it a 7.5, I think, because it's a really good set, but there are some hangups because there are no knees and the legs in the back are a little weak looking. They're not the absolute greatest, but they're still really decent. They're still really solid. I still like the build. And before I go, I will mention this because something else kind of influenced the, I think this is still a high rating, but despite that, what still kind of made me really go with the decision is almost make me want to put it at a 7.0, just 7 flat, but I still like it enough to give it a 7.5. But what makes me kind of think this set's a little, like, you know, make me not like it as much is the price. I have paid $80 for this set. This was $79.99 in the US. This set was kind of expensive, and in September that Lego is going to increase their prices, which is insane to think about because this set's already at $80. They might make this $90 or $100 even, which this is not $100. This is not $80 of Lego play things here. There's just no. There isn't. I just think that's ridiculous. But those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think down below. What is your favorite set? Comment what is your favorite set. Comment what do you think about these ridiculous prices. Tell me, do you have this set? Do you not? I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff. Let's get a discussion going. But I will join you guys next time when I review I don't know what. I want to do more Bionicle. I want to plan something for Bionicle Day, which is that of time of recording just in a few days. That's about what? That's about 5-ish days from now, the time of recording this. I want to do something for that. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'll be on time or late with it, if at all. But I do want to do something for that if you guys are interested in the Bionicle content. If you like the Ninjago stuff, give it a like, comment below. I would love to do more. I have many Ninjago sets to review if you guys really want to see this. So I would like if you would tell me that. But I've rambled on long enough. I've been your host, RobeTheMatoran, and I'll see you all in the next review, I suppose. There's no other way of putting that.